Hi everyone, and welcome back to our short video series about how to make Blackboard more efficient and more user-friendly. So in the first video, I talked about adding a course banner and customizing your theme by using this little color thing here, and then also customizing your homepage with modules. In the second video, I talked about how to customize your content areas and your menu options over here for students. So adding dividers, making things hidden that you didn't necessarily need them to use, and renaming things just so that they have a little bit better idea what is actually in the content or the information links. So today what I'm going to talk about is how to add a module. And as you can see here with my syllabus and calendar, it says this has no content because we haven't created content there yet. So I'm going to click on that. And when it takes me to the syllabus page, to form a module, which you can use a module for anything. If you want to use a module for giving extra pieces of content, I used a module in one of my other classes because the books that we were one of the books we were reading was part of a trilogy. So I gave spoiler alerts, but only in the module so that they knew and it was marked as a spoiler and they couldn't just see it when they were on the page. They had to kind of click through, which a lot of them mentioned to me that they appreciated. So to build a content, which I'm sure you've done before, instead of just adding an item or a file, or a web link, we're going to go here to learning module. So I'm going to click on that. And when that comes up, you can just give it a name like syllabus. Or you can say, as I did here in my automatic complete thing, you can see I've used this before. I have the rules, the description and rules for the course. And then I've copied this kind of definition of a syllabus. I like to have a definition in there for them so that they know what a syllabus is, because a lot of times if they're first generation or even if they're just a first semester college student, they might not have heard that term before. So a syllabus is an academic document that communicates course information and defines expectations and responsibilities. Here you can find and then some of the things that I have in my syllabus. My contact information, the rules for the course, grading information, and information about services such as ADA office, writing lab, etc. I might list a few more things there if we were doing this for real. And then you just click submit. Then now that that's created, it's almost like a little content folder. You can see here now syllabus, the course description and rules for the class, and then my little explanation there, right? So now I'm going to click on the module itself. When we do that, we kind of go into it. Now, if you don't like your explanation, you can, click the little down arrow and you can edit if you want to edit. Now that I'm in here, I'm going to build my content. So for a module, if you can see here, they've just popped on the left, our table of contents. I'm going to build content and I'm going to build module page. So again, I think of it almost like a little binder, right? Containing all the information. So now we're going to go here and I'm going to call this first part contact information. I'm going to pull up my syllabus. There's no reason for you to rewrite all this stuff, right? So here's my name. These are my office hours from last semester and my email, but they are, yeah. So I have this, and then I have a little communication statement, but because there's a divider, I'm going to copy and paste separately. Then I'm going to fix office hours. Move that over. So basically, this is I'm just going to have this, I think, just for our demonstration purposes. Then my email is there, and then a note. I tell them, you know, we can still meet by appointment if I had weird office hours last semester because I had a night class, as well as early morning classes. So a lot of them were on that Wednesday when I had the night class. But I also meet with them in the library sometimes because that's where they work on their papers. Sometimes I meet them in the cafeteria because that's where I eat my lunch. And then I turn off course messages. I know a lot of you use that. So that's what's there. So that's some information for contacting me. And I'll submit that. And now in a moment, we should see that, there we go. So now you can see in the table of contents that the contact information has popped. And you really want to do this in really small segments. So I'm going to build content. I'm going to have another module page. Go back into my syllabus. And this time I'm going to grab the course description. They don't really need the fact that it's a core principle course, so I'm just going to get the student learning outcomes. ENG 1, 2, 3. Student learning outcomes. And then I'm going to have an explanation. Student learning outcomes are the things are the skills I want you to master before leaving this course. That's a pretty poor explanation, but again, if I were doing this for real, I would kind of reword it a little bit, maybe. Okay, now you notice that like this is kind of weird font. One of the things that is recommended is if you're doing this to have the actual heading, and then I'm going to have this as my subheading 1. Of course it did. The reason for having the heading and the subheading again is for ADA issues, so that students with ADA, it reads it to them a little bit differently. Obviously, they can't see the bold maybe if they have a visual impairment. So using the paragraph and the subheadings can help quite a bit. And then I'm going to press submit on this. Again, I'll show you my real one at the end, just so you can kind of see a finished product. But that's basically, you know, the idea, and the table of contents there. You know, a lot of people have quite a number of things in their syllabus, so the table of contents is easy. The students can go and they can click, you know, on it right to the thing that they need to see. So they have a question about their grades, and you tell them, check the syllabus to see how you're graded. They can go in here into the table of contents and click exactly what they need. So I'm going to click over and I'll show you one of the ones that I've finished. Okay, so now I'm in my online section. You can see for this one, I've got a different banner in a different color. That's really just for my own purposes so that I can know which class is which just at a glance. And these are all of, on the left, my menu options. I'm not using Digication with my online class. I'm doing something different, but I'm just going to go in and show you the module for the syllabus and calendar. The calendar I actually have here as an item, but the syllabus, here we go. The course description and rules for the course. This module contains the syllabus, including course description, goals for the class, and rules for the online class. Obviously, there's a lot more than that, but it's a basic, you know, one line. And then when I click on it, I'm going to go into my student view. If you ever want to see your student view, it says right here, the edit mode is on. The edit mode is for me to do things in here and to change things around. If you want to click off, then you can see that. There we go. So this is what the student view would look like. My contact information is there. Then I have the course description and goals. Then I have how you are graded. There we go. and they don't open automatically. So it's kind of nice that they can, you know, click through. How they're graded, my homework and essay policies are in there. I don't take late homework. I take essays late, but there's a deduction. Basically, it kind of explains that. Plagiarism policy, attendance policy, which is important for an online class. Some of the required things, disability statement. I have all their campus support services with the phone numbers and there we go. The phone numbers and their hours. So if they need to contact ADA or tutoring services, I have a different thing somewhere in here for counseling and for the food pantry and all of that, which is not showing. So I guess I really need to redo that. And then I have important dates just so that they know when they can withdraw. And then just a short statement. Here we go. Important dates for the semester. Adding a class, when spring break is, last day to withdraw, the study day, and then finals week and whatever. And then I have a link actually to the calendar, which you can do in the modules. So I'm going to click back over here and show you guys how to do that. Build content, module page. I'm going to copy this part with the important dates. Paste that in. It didn't have the I. There we go. So those are some of the important dates, right? And then I want the entire school calendar. So the academic calendar is online, and you can download that as a PDF, which I have already done. As you can see when we're in here, you know, you can add a video to these. Some people, like if they're teaching first year seminar, in their module, they will add a video like about campus support services, which wouldn't be a bad thing to do. For mine, for this class, you know, I want the syllabus kind of just to be really easy to kind of skim through and get everything they need all at once. So I'm going to go here to insert file. And again, sorry about the slow internet. Browse my computer. I think I've got it. There we go. Academic calendar. And open. And then I'm just going to, once that loads up, there we go. I don't have an alt text, but I'm going to, for any visually impaired or blind user, I'm just going to type in again, academic calendar link, so that they know what that is if they're scrolling over it, right? Instead of it just saying link, which is what happens if you don't do that. And I have it set yes to open in a new window. Good. Okay, it's added. I'm going to click submit, and then you can see it right there. And when I click submit, it'll show up on that table of contents. Now the nice thing too, and I'll show you guys this one last little hint before we go. You can reorder anything on here. You can do it in one of two ways. You can drag this. So let's say I want the learning outcomes before my contact information. And then it'll update over here when I press refresh. You can do it that way, or you can with these little up-down arrows, which is actually easier because sometimes it doesn't work the other way. Reordering content. So let's say I want this first, I want the important date second, and then I want the student learning outcomes. I'm going to click submit, and then it'll reorder. There we go. It says it's been reordered. That's it. So that's those are the basic ideas for how to create the modules and the module pages. The biggest thing I think to remember is really some of the things that you can do to help the students who do have ADA accommodations are using those buttons when you're typing to click on course heading, using the things to have just the regular paragraph, making sure that any images or links that you have has that descriptor, and then for all of the students, you know, having things in a good clear order so that they can kind of click through. And then on the first day of classes, I just show them this module and we kind of go through a few of the things that are in here, as opposed to giving them, like, you know, as I was before, like a 15-page document. So it's really quite helpful, and and it's a lot easier to use. So that's it. The next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to make items, and then also how for everybody to see, and then also how to add some of those unit goals to your folders. That's it. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.